welcome to Storytelling with Miss Rennu. And why do I think storytelling is so important? Because it helps your communication, it helps you with your vocabulary, and it's so important to be able to explain things in detail. So I'm going to tell you a story, and then what I want you to do is I want you to practice telling the same story back to your family and friends and add all your interesting little tidbits in the story like I'm going to do. Alright? Let's begin. This story is called The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had three little pigs, but she did not have enough food for them. So when they were old enough, which means when they were a little bigger, she sent them out to the big world and said, "Go seek your fortunes." In other words, she said to them, "I haven't got enough food to take care of you. Go take care of yourself now. You're big enough. Go fend for yourself." The first little pig was very lazy. He did not want to work at all, and it's not good to be lazy. So he decided to build his house out of straw. No effort at all. The second little pig, his brother, worked a little bit harder, but he was also lazy. So he built a house out of sticks. And then they both just sang and danced and played all day and really didn't think hard enough about what could happen by not building the right house. The third little pig, the smartest one, worked all day and he built his house out of bricks. It was a sturdy house, which means strong. Sturdy means strong. It was a sturdy house with a fine fireplace and chimney. And it looked like it could withstand all the strongest winds. Well, guess what? The next day, a big hungry wolf was walking past. And he smelt little pigs. And he goes, I'm hungry. Let me see what's going on over here. The next day, a wolf who was walking past was very hungry. And he smelt little pigs. And he goes, I wonder what's going on over here. And he saw the straw house. And he said, interesting. This little pig, from the smell, I can smell that there's a pig in this house, will make a nice, mighty meal for my hungry stomach. So he knocked on the door. Knock, 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 knock. Little pig, let me in. But the little pig looked through the little peephole of the door and saw the wolf's big paws. And he answered back, No, not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin. No, not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin. Then the wolf showed his teeth. Rah! Well then, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So the wolf huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. And the wolf opened his jaws, and just as he was about to bite the little pig ran away and escaped to his little brother's house, the second brother who lived in the house of sticks. Well, the wolf was like, I didn't get my food, let me go find some more little pigs. So he wandered on a little further and he came to the second house made of sticks. And he said, I smell some pork chops in here. I can smell some little piggies in here. And his mouth began to water. Just like when you're hungry, you think about food, you start to feel even more hungry, right? So he knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Little pig, let me in. But the little pig, this is the second little pig, looked through the little peephole of the door and saw the wolf's pointy ears. And he said, No, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. So the wolf showed his teeth. Rah! And I'll huff and I'll puff, he said, and I'll blow your house down. So he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed. And guess what? He blew the entire house down and he went chasing after the second little pig. But no luck. These little pigs ran so fast and they ran all the way down the lane and they got to the third brother's house. The smart piggy who had a house made of bricks. The wolf went home with no luck and said, I'm hungry today. I need to go find some pork chops tomorrow morning. So the next morning, back went the wolf down that little piggy lane and he came right in front of the house of bricks. And he said, I smell a lot of piggies in here, because after all, piggy number 1, piggy number 2, and number 3, all 3 little pigs were in that house. And he knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Little pig, let me in. And the 3rd little pig looked through the peephole and saw the ferocious teeth and said, no, 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 not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. So the wolf showed his teeth. Rah! I will huff and I will puff and I will blow your house down. Well, he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed and he tried everything and he could not blow that house down. He was so out of breath, he had to stop and rest. But this was too much. So the wolf danced with rage and said, you know what? I'm definitely going to eat you up. So he started climbing up the house, got to the chimney, and the piggies realized, and they put together a big pot of boiling water on a fire. And guess what happened? That mean, nasty wolf went through the chimney and crash, landed right into the pot of boiling water, and that was the end of the big bad wolf. So guess what happened? The 3 little piggies lived together, but they did learn one important lesson from their brother, that it's very important not to be lazy. You got to use your brains, and don't be lazy, work hard, try a little harder, and make sure you're successful in what you do. Don't just give up halfway, don't just do things halfway, always make sure you finish your tasks and do things properly. I hope you enjoyed the story. Now what I think you should do is listen to it again, see if you can retell the story back in your own words to mom and dad or your friends, and maybe draw a nice picture or painting of this story to illustrate. And you can hang the picture up or send it to me to my email address, and I'll be happy to share it on our Instagram and Facebook page. Until next time, Miss Rennu is going to huff and puff and say goodbye.